Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sarel van Grinnen, aka Mr. VG, and I'm about halfway through this exam paper. Halfway through, which means we are now going into arguably one of the more difficult sections of work in your grade 10 exams, which is about functions and graphs, specifically about hyperbolas. Now, we are going to do 3 videos on different graphs. We're doing hyperbolas first, then we're going to do a beautiful interpretation question about exponential graphs mixed with some straight lines. And then later on, the last question of this exam paper is a stunning, a gorgeous parabola application question. So let's start with this first question about hyperbolas. So I want you to try this question where it says given h of x equal to negative 2 over x plus 1, and they ask you a lot of questions about it. But I'm going to ask you, hit the pause button and try it yourself. When I look at a question like this, I actually don't want to answer the question first. I want to first interpret. So what can I interpret? First of all, what kind of a graph is it? It's kind of obvious because we're busy with hyperbolas. But because it is an over x, it's a hyperbola. That negative tells me that it lies in quadrant 2 and quadrant 4. So in the left and bottom right, so top left and bottom right quadrants. Okay. Why do I love to do this? Because then whatever happens, I know that this is going to be where my graphs is going to end up. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, okay, we are going to specifically have a look at asymptotes. It is a hyperbola, so we need our asymptotes, okay? Asymptotes, 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 okay? It's got 2 asymptotes, x equal to 0 and y equal to 1. Next year in grade 11, of course, things are going to move left and right. Then that x equal to 0 is not going to be the same. But wait, I've already answered question A. Yay! The asymptotes, the equations of the asymptotes, and please be careful, it's equations. It's not just values or a coordinate, okay? It is equations of the asymptotes, okay? That is at x equal to 0 and at y equal to 1. Now let's look at B. Determine the intercept with the x-axis. So in other words, the x-intercept. How do I do that? By making y equal to 0. So 0 is equal to negative 2 over x plus 1. I'm going to take that and transpose it to the left at negative 2 over x, and I'm going to put it on the LCD. Why do I do this, ladies and gentlemen? Because, let me go back a little bit, I don't want to learn new things. I just want to take the algebra knowledge. Remember, we learned how to solve fractions in algebra, putting it on the LCD, equating the numerators, and I'm going to take that knowledge and just apply it to functions and graphs. So therefore, x is equal to 2. Have I done it? Yes, I'm done. But now I always love to write down that x is 2, y is 0. Okay? I love to write down coordinates. It works for me. Next up, it says make a neat sketch of h of x. So first of all, it's a hyperbola. So I need to draw in my asymptotes. Okay? It's so nice I wrote it down twice. There we go. Let me go back a little bit. There's my 2 asymptotes. X equal to 0. I kind of just drew it slightly off of the y-axis so you can see it clearly, but it's actually on the y-axis, and then also at y equal to 1. Next up, my x-intercept at 2 and 0. So that leg of mine is going to lie in that bottom right exactly where the form says. But now, because it is exam and it only counts 3 marks, I'm going to just go and say, because it has to lie in the top first quadrant, it is going to lie like that. What did I forget? Your teacher is going to be very cross with you if you forget it. Y equal to 1. You have to write the equation of your asymptote next to the asymptote, okay? So it is valuable for you to also write the x equal to 0. Just make your teacher happy, okay? Now, I am going to be a pain in my own cartouche and just put on those arrows so that it means my asymptotes don't stop somewhere. It actually continues forever and ever and ever. Okay? I've watched too many Disney movies. Okay? Now let's quickly look at question D. Now, question D is one of the favorite questions in hyperbolas. Is the equations of the axes of symmetry. Remember, there's 2 axes of symmetry. I'm going to draw them in pink. One of them is going to lie there. But let me do it so that it doesn't look like a solid line. So one of them is going to be there, and one of them is going to be there. Okay? Now, I can guarantee you, ladies and gents, that your teacher's going to ask you about the axes of symmetry. Why? Because they know most of the kids don't study and then forget about it. So please don't forget about it and please study it. There's always 2 axes of symmetry. Y equal to plus minus x plus c. And it passes through P, Q. Now, I know this you might not be familiar with the P and the Q here, but that is just your 2 axes of symmetry, okay? P and Q. So the P is the vertical axis of symmetry, so in this case, it's going to be 0. And the horizontal axis of symmetry, which is 1. They're telling me for the negative gradient, so they're not asking me for both. They're just asking me for one of them, okay? So this is the way I want you to do it, Go plus minus x plus c, and it passes through P, Q, your x asymptote and your y asymptote. It crosses at that point. You see it on the graph as well. And now just determine a value for c by substituting in. And there's your answer, y equal to negative x plus 1. But sir, couldn't we have just said that that's the y-intercept? Yes, you can. But next year, ladies and gents, it's not going to be the same. Because next year it's going to be moved left and right. So in grade 10, yeah, it's fine. Go for it. No issues at all, ladies and gents. No issues at all. But please don't forget about the axes of symmetry. Ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you are going to have a beautiful and amazing rest of your day. In our next video, we're going to do exponential graphs. So we'll see each other soon. Keep well. Cheers.